Hey guys, Anthony here with Pro Dealer Secrets, and I've got a video topic today on how to turn 1,000 into 10,000. And it's a pretty popular topic, how to take a certain amount and turn it into another amount. Essentially what we're trying to do here is have a good amount of profit, 10x our money. And I'm just going to show you some math real quick, break it down, show you how simple it is, and a few mistakes to avoid that you'll be tempted once you get up to, like, say the $3,000, $4,000, $6,000 range. And this is assuming that you have $1,000 extra to use and not needed for expenses and bills and whatnot. So let's get started. So we take the 1,000, you buy your first vehicle or two, depending on what your specialty is. If you're a mechanic, you might get a fixer-upper. If you're into paint and body work, you might, get a car that needs paint and body work. Now, if you don't have any way to specifically add value to a vehicle, it makes it a little more difficult. You may have to dig a little more to get started. A good place to find flips is Facebook and Let Go, OfferUp, and then take like terrible posts, add a little value in terms of cleaning, inexpensive fixes, a collection of different things, and then flipping it over onto Craigslist for a higher amount. So you got your first car, let's say, just for argument's sake, that you've spent $800 invested here in this vehicle. Let's say that you're going to try to list it for, let's just say, $1,700, and then what you get out of it is $1,400 after negotiating. Now, just because you have $1,400 doesn't mean you need to spend that on the next one. Look for another deal like this where you spend $800 to $1,000, and so now you've got this vehicle that you spent $1,000 on, and you sell it for $1,500. So now what do you have? You've got the 15 plus the 400 left over. You've got 1,900. Now this is where it really starts to make a big difference, because now you can buy two vehicles. You don't have to go buy a car for 1,900. Now if there's a really good deal for that price, so you can either have two cars that are like 1,900 that you've spent, or if you find a really good deal, you can spend, 12 to 15, 1,800. You always want to keep a little extra for mechanical repairs, detailing, stuff like that. So now we've got the 1,000, got the 900. Let's just say we have a bad deal, get 1,300 back. That's fine. This one, maybe it was a little better. We get 1,400, and that's fine also. So now we've taken our 19 and we've turned it into 2,700. And this might be, over the period of a month. If you're really quick, maybe a few weeks. Bottom line, you're kind of growing to where you can do something significant and start amplifying. Now we got 27. Based on what we're doing here, we can buy 2 or 3 cars at a time. You could have 3 cars for sale, or let's just say 2, because you can't find another good deal. But you found a pretty nice one for 1,200, and let's just say you lose money on this one, just for realism. And let's say you make some on this one. So 1,900. So what does that equal? We've taken 27. We've spent 22. We got 500 left over. So we've got 19 plus 9. That's 2,800. Plus the 500 left over from here. Well, shoot, we're at 3,300 before you know it. And this is great. We are now here at $3,300. That is 2 to 3 nice vehicles. Trust me, there's always deals out there. You can always find another flip if you dig hard enough. So, let's just say we got 3 cars now that we've spent 1,000 on. And this seems obvious, but a lot of you are going to be tempted that once you get to the 33, 34, 3,000 and up range, you're going to want to go buy a $3,000 car thinking that you can double your returns quicker. And that's not the case. The more expensive you spend on a vehicle, the harder the returns are going to be, because there's a lot more nicer vehicles in that price range. If it runs and drives decent, you're going to sell it. Anyways, speaking of 1,500, let's just say that's what we get on average out of all these cars. We get an average of 1,500 across the board. Now we have 4,500. Now it's starting to grow itself a little quicker. These two equal 3, 4,500. Now what's crazy, and at one point I had 11 cars parked in my apartment parking lot. All I did was this right here. I kept buying more and more of the cheaper ones, and you get to a certain point to where you do spend a little more, like around 2,000, because those are nicer vehicles that you can sell for 3. But let's just say we stick to our plan here, and we have 4,500 to play with. Now what you're going to do is you're going to buy a really nice $2,000 car, like an '04 Honda Civic. You can sell that for 3,000, pretty easily. Well, actually, for argument's sake, let's say 2,800. because they negotiate you down. Then you also buy another car for 15 that you sell for 2,200, and you buy another car for 17 and it sits for a few weeks, so you take 2,000. We have spent 235. Now obviously they're staggered, so you'd sell this, you buy this, but now you turn that into 7,000 smackaroos. So cool. As you can see, it seems easy on paper, but the point is, this is a formula. You stick to low risk, consistent profits, and you'll get there. It's really not that hard. Now, the problem you run into is when you go out and you try to spend all $4,500 on a Jeep Wrangler that you think is a great deal. And you sit on it and you sit on it and you sit on it, and 2 months later, you sell it for $5,200. Well, you've gone from 45 to 52 in 2 months when you could have gone from 45 to 7 within a month with easy, consistent deals. And that's the pitfall that most people fall into, is they think that the more you spend, the more you make. And that's not always the case, because take, for example, just using profit margins. If you make $800 on 2,000, the profit margin is 40%. That's healthy. Now, if you make 700 on 4,500, and it's going to happen, you're making 16%. That sucks. Don't waste your time. Don't try to overstretch on deals, and go for good, easy consistency. So now that we're at 7,000, we're not that far from 10, and all it takes is 3-4 more of these deals. So, you spend 2,000, you spend 1,700, and you're at this point, you're getting pretty good at spotting good deals. So here we are. I just made these numbers up. What does that add up to? 2,000 plus 1,700 plus 1,500 plus 2,100. 73. Let's just say this one's 14 then. So that's 7,000. Using our previous numbers, you sell it for 2,600. You sell it for 2,100. And these aren't big profit deals. You can see that you're just making a little bit here and there. You're just taking good, consistent profits. So now we got 2,600 plus 2,100. Oh, well, shit, we're almost there, right there, 9,600. Go buy one more for 1,000, sell it for 15, and boom. What do you have? You got $10,100. And that is how you take 1,000 into 10,000. Sure, this might have taken you 3, 4, 5 months to do, but the lessons and, learning that consistent money and consistent profits is more valuable than trying to get one big $2,000-$3,000 deals is valuable. Because if you spend $2,000 and you get a junker, then you can sell it for $2,000 and get your money back and try again. If you spend $5,000 on a junker and you have to dump it for $3,000 because of a bad engine, well, you're not going to have a great day. You're going to lose $2,000. So think smart, low risk. Until next time, this is Anthony with Pro Dealer Secrets.